Y'all ready? 3, 2, 1.
Dogs down, boy. Let's go! Put this knock down all of them. That's what I'm talking about. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. In today's video, we're doing something special. I don't know if y'all caught it, but in the last video, I mentioned upgrading my thermal optic. And the optic I chose to go with is the HYDRA 650R with LRF by DNT. If you're coming to watch this video, most likely you already know the specs of this optic. But I'm just going to throw a few key features that stand out to me when I was coming to buy this. It is a 640 resolution optic with a 50mm objective lens. The base magnification is 2.5x, which is higher than the 635 HYDRA that they also offer, which has a base mag of 1.5. This model does have LRF, which is this little guy here, which is a ballistic calculator and rangefinder, which is very helpful in the field because we all know as hunters looking through that optic, it is hard to tell the difference between 300 yards sometimes and 150. And this rangefinder is very accurate. I tested it with a couple different rangefinders I use for bow hunting, and it is right there with them. DNT advertises this as a 3-in-1 optic. It can be used as a standalone, just like I have it here. It can be used as a clip-on, which you clip it in front of a normal rifle scope, and it can be used as a monocular. It is easy to use as a monocular and a standalone when you have the quick detach mount, which is now offered in every purchase with a HYDRA. This optic has 8 different types of reticles to choose from and 4 different colors. That would be red, green, white, and yellow. I personally like the yellow. I know a lot of people run green or red, and the white's a little tricky to see when you're using white hot or black hot. Now, we'll get into some of the pros. The first thing I want to mention is the price to performance. This thing is awesome. For the price, you will not find another 640 that comes close to what this is. There's a few cheaper ones on the market, like if you go to Amazon or something, but DNT really knocked it out of the park with their performance. This thing does not glitch, it does not lag, it is super clear, and just an all-around bang for your buck. You'll notice that some of these clips don't look as good as you might think a 640 would look. You have to remember that what I am looking through in the optic is double, maybe more clear than what you're seeing on the screen. Every thermal goes down in resolution when you record, not in the actual optic, but when you go to playback. But even the video that you're seeing in the clips is amazing. I mean, there's cows at 400 yards and they're great. I can identify coyotes at 400 or 500 yards and tell it's not a fox or a dog. So that is pretty wicked for the price of this thermal that is $1,000 to $2,000 cheaper than any other 640 on the market. Another thing I want to mention is the quality. The quality of this optic for the price point is outstanding. I came from an AGM Rattler V2 256. Now you're probably saying, Caden, you went from a 256 resolution to a 640. Of course, you're going to think this optic is insane. Well, I want to throw out there that resolution aside, the optic is just as good quality as any other optic. The focus knob feels nice and tight, very good quality. The lens cover, very easy, snaps in place, never had that fail. I will get into a problem I have with that in a minute, but it has never failed. The buttons all react really well, never had any stick, never had any problems out of those. They all feel nice to the touch. The rangefinder works, never had a problem screwing or taking out the battery. And I've used this thing in some very rough conditions, some very thick fog, some mist rain, very humid weather, and I've never had a problem out of it. Next thing is the ease of use. The menu and for zeroing and the focus and the position of the LRF button, all in a very good spot for me. The battery, which is another good thing, another easy thing to use. You just unscrew that thing, it has a little tether there, that way you never lose your cap. And it uses an 18650 flat top battery, which is very common. I got 4 extras for 40 bucks on Amazon, and I can run all night and some. Another pro, if you're wanting to record a lot with this optic, is that they knocked audio recording out of the park. I have used some other thermal optics, and I've heard the audio from other thermal optics, and this one is great. There's a couple clips in here where we are whispering and you can hear us very clearly.
I can't tell what it is. It's in the grass. I think it's a fox. He's coming in. He said to the left. I mean right. Shoot it down, Donnie. 3, 2. Well, I can't hear out my left ear. I can hear out my left ear.
It doesn't get all glitchy after a shot is fired. Very good with the audio, and I'm very pleased how DNT made that happen. Another pro is the size of this optic. Like I mentioned before, it can be used as a monocular, and I don't see where you would have any problem with that if you did get the quick detach mount and wanted to use it as a monocular. It is plenty light enough, fits in your hand really well, even with the LRF. The button is in a good spot to press while you're using it in monocular mode, and overall it makes the gun a lot lighter compared to other optics I've ran on this setup. The last pro I want to mention is the customer service. I had a couple questions about this optic, and instead of going through the trouble of writing an email or reaching out to their website, I just simply DM'd a message on Instagram, and they replied within a day or two, and I'm really pleased with their customer service. Now, we'll get into what everybody wants to know about a cheaper thermal optic. What are the cons? I'm here to tell you there's not many. The main one that I have found is the reticle size in the picture-in-picture, which is the zoomed in image that you can place in the center, left, or right of your display, which is another awesome feature that you can do on this optic, is choose where you want your picture-in-picture. Now back to what my problem was. The reticle in your picture-in-picture blows up the image of your actual display. What I mean by that, and here is a video demonstration, is that as you zoom, your reticle in your picture-in-picture gets bigger, which really doesn't affect you if you're within inside 100 yards, but once you get out 150, 200, 250, 300, and so on, this reticle becomes very big. And I'll throw up a clip right now of me shooting a coyote at about 150 yards, and the reticle kind of covers up his whole shoulder. Well, this coyote was kind of a quartering away, and I hit it a little bit back. It didn't run far because I still had lungs, but I hit it a little back. And some of the main reason for that is the size of the reticle. I believe this could be fixed in an update. You know, just make it where that reticle kind of is a lot slimmer in the picture-in-picture, kind of refined. I think that would really be a game changer for this optic. The next issue I wanted to point out is the size of the buttons. While the layout and the feel of the buttons is very nice, I feel like they're way too small. I'm not a big guy, and I have small hands for a guy, and I even sometimes feel myself hitting the wrong buttons. Now, they do have your mode button in between these nice two little raised portions, so you can kind of find that at night. Even then, sometimes it can get confusing, but other than that, I'm pleased with the button layout and the order they're in. I just would like to see in future models maybe a little bit bigger button. I understand that's probably some of the sacrifice they had to make with condensing this into a smaller size optic. The other thing that I wanted to mention, like I did before, was the lens cover. Now, for a right-handed shooter, this probably is not going to apply to you, but I am a left-handed shooter. With that being said, my left hand is on my trigger, and my right hand is what I use for the focus knob. Well, when this lens cover is out of view of my LRF, it is in line, no matter where I put it, with my focus knob. So it is very hard to get there in a quick manner and focus. When it is out of the way of my focus knob, it is bumping my LRF, and I can't get a range. I have found a way around this, and that is to not lock the lens cover all the way and put that down there like that. It allows for just enough clearance for my LRF, and I can still use my focus knob. And that works for this rifle. Now, for other rifles, I don't know. That's just something you might want to keep in mind if you're a left-handed shooter. The last main thing I wanted to point out as a con for DNT themselves is the app speed. Now, I do a lot of videoing with my optics, and getting those videos from the app is very crucial. The app speed is kind of slow when you're going to load playback or even download. It's a lot slower than other apps I've used. It's not a big deal. I can just hit download and wait a minute, but it's something I would like to see improve in the future. The last thing is not big at all, but I'm a big sticker guy, and I would have liked to see a sticker come in the box. Well guys, that is it for my experience and my review on the DNT HYDRA 650R with LRF. Overall, I have no regrets buying this. It is a great optic for the price, and I couldn't be happier with the video and audio recording, and it has made my hunting experiences a game changer. There's been many coyotes taken on and off camera with this optic, and I will say it has held a 0 and been absolutely a nail driver. I really appreciate y'all taking the time and watch this video. We'll try and get some more hunting content with this, some better full stand hunts in the future. I'm excited to see what we can do with this optic, and I would really like to test out some of DNT's other optics, whether that be a day and night scope or their Hound monocular. I really appreciate all y'all's support, and hopefully we can make more videos like this in the future. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all on the next one.